Alright, next stop. We're here at Bet Shean National Park, getting ready to go on inside. The tell here is where the bodies of Saul and his sons were hung after they were killed on Mount Gilboa. Saul committed suicide. And King Solomon later recognized the importance of this place, and he put somebody in charge of it. We're going to go on inside and take a look around at the tell, and then also the ruins of the Roman city that was here as well. This was one of the Decapolis cities.
It's considered today actually the largest archaeological site in Israel. It was a big city, but the one that the Bible refers is only the hill over there. So this was the hill of Bet Shean, the tell. You see the tell with a wall on top of it, and the battlefield would be somewhere between, that's the end. We are actually in the end of the Jezreel Valley, the Valley of Armageddon. Over the way there, that's the way to Mount Carmel, to Megiddo, and to Haifa. And the south, this is Mount Gilboa, that it's a part of Samaria. So all Samaria has many different names. A part of it is Mount Gilboa, it's the one that's close to us. So between Mount Gilboa and here, that was the battlefield where the children of Israel were defeated by the Philistines, and King Saul and his 3 sons were killed. Over there, they built this city, but actually here there was no spring. Even it was a very important strategical place, there was no spring here. And they were depending on the water coming from the Gideon's well, the spring of Jezreel that we remember by Tel Jezreel, what it's not far from here, it's about 20 minutes from here drive. And by Gana Shlosha, it's another large spring. And they were bringing the water here, and the water comes down naturally and then flows down to the Jordan River on the way. So you can see that's called the Harod River, and it comes down to the Jordan River. Because of that topographical situation, then the stew that can bring water, the Greek brought, and they decided to build this city as the capital, and they changed the name to a Greek name that was called Skytopolis. Skytopolis was the capital of the Decapolis. Of all the Decapolis mentioned in the scripture, that was the capital. And the city was about 2 miles long, the city wall. The city was large, unusual size.
So what we're looking here now is the area that I zoomed in and showed you, the central part. This would be the back of the theater. They took a lot of the upper parts of the theater and used that limestone to build the new modern city of Bet Shean behind us. I'm going to pan on around, and I'm kind of right down in that area where I zoomed in to show you. This was the heart of the Roman city, and the Cardo is just coming into view. In the back is the tell. The tell would have been where the biblical city was, and that's where Saul and his sons' bodies would have been hung back there on the mound. The Roman city is here at the base of the tell, and you can see how they have been excavating it and then putting it back together to rebuild the city. It was destroyed by an earthquake, and we're going to go down amongst the ruins of the Roman city and see what we can see. So we walk down to the theater area, and we're going to walk on into the theater. Our group's in here. Once we get inside, I'll give you a view of the inside of the theater. All right. So here's our group. And this is what remains we have of the theater area. Looks like they have modernized the stage there, and they probably actually have productions here at some time or another. The old Roman theater. There's the Cardo, the main street of the city there in the background.
Israel Valley goes to the Kishon Valley to the Haifa. The biggest part comes all the way flowing down with all the springs that we saw from the city of Jezreel, and from the springs over there, and it flows down to the Jordan River. On the way, it brings a lot of erosion and sand, and it's bearing that eventually. Now, when the Crusader came here, they didn't see these seats. They saw only these seats that were here, the 4,000 seats. They took them to use it in the building that built the new Bet Shean. They left the foundation. We were digging here, we found the original seats. We didn't do any renovation here, reconstruction. This is the original seats that were found.
Wow, that's cool.
About 2,000 years old. The only reconstruction was done over there to show you the way it was, the seats. There is a plan now to replace all the 4,000 seats. We're using that for performance. During the summertime, there is a lot of performance, dance and singing and all kinds of performances. And the stage was over there with a very nice wall decoration. And on the back, you see the main street was called, what will be called the main street? Cardo, very good. Cardiologist, Central. That was the Cardo Street. Behind it is the bathhouse. And the temple was on the top.
Would have been beautiful.
See over there, that was the temple on the top. And there was a temple on the...
Here's a last view of the tell.
Please notice the Cardo, Nathan.
Right, it's down on the bottom left
where
of
the
my...
people walk and the shops is about 3 feet higher than the roadway. The roadway is where the chariots went and the channel for the water to go through also. So it protected the people from the chariots.
But the walls that the bodies would have been hung on were up there on the
Yes, on the top of that
top of the
tell.
mound. So that's where
That's-
Saul's body
That's the old
would
city.
have been hung. Now I'm going to rush down. I'm going to try to give you a quick shot of the theater from down below.
You can also see how easy it would be to defend that city. Soldiers have to climb up those steep slopes
Right.
to try to attack the old Bet Shean.
Right.
Almost impossible.
Hey, Dad. Give me a wave, Dad. Dad and Phil, they can hear me quite clearly. I'm down here at the bottom of the theater. We're on I gotta hurry, but I want to give you a quick view. And you can hear, the sound is great. You can hear quite clearly. Up above the white section is the 4,000 upper seats. And they took the stone from there. Yes. One last shot, and we've got to head out. We're going to head down to Qumran next. Too bad we couldn't go down to the Cardo area, but one last panoramic sweep here before I catch up to everybody else.
Oh, is that all we're going down to see?
All right, I'm back on the bus and looking at the then and now book. Here's the view that you saw that I gave you from down in the theater, and here's how it would have looked with all those seats added to the top of it. And I've got a couple other views here. There's the overall aerial view. And then they've got
We want to see what kind of folks on
Cardo.
the bus.
So if that's the main street, here's what it would have looked like in actuality.